because I knew I showed up every day and I looked at what I did. And then I was like, well, what did I not do? Because I didn't, if I'm being 100% honest with myself, I didn't do all the things every day. So what pieces am I missing? What did I miss last month that I can add this month? Or what can I shift a little bit? Because I don't have more time to put into this business right now. But I do have the ability to be smarter with my time and look at how I'm spending it and tweaking. So I'm going to do more connecting this month than I did last month, because that's the thing that I tend to leave out. I can invite all day long, but I tend to, if I get busy, I leave out connecting. And that's like so key to what we do. And so take a look at your tracker, see what you're missing, see where there's holes, and then fill in there or make changes or shift. And don't get, sometimes I get emotional. It's that negative mindset thing. And so then I'm like beating up on myself, like, oh, why did this happen? I'm a terrible coach, blah, 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 blah. And that just makes me feel crappy, which is not true. None of that is true. But we can start telling ourselves these messages, and then we just spiral down. And so if you can move the emotion aside and just look at things objectively, you can you can always find things that you can shift and change, because this business is constantly changing. I was saying, I think in one of the threads, that one of the things that I noticed, because I found myself always saying in my head, well, when I was really rocking a year ago, this is what I was doing, so I'm just going to do that. But then I looked at it and I was like, well, you're doing that and you're not getting the same results that you did a year ago. So maybe you need to shift something a little bit, because social media is always changing. Algorithms are changing. Like, always be willing to be a student and keep learning. And we see our leaders doing that, modeling that for us. So Heidi, finish your story and then I'll go on, because it was good.
Okay. Sorry. I was just saying, so I don't know where it cut out, but basically what happened was, well, a lot of the girls were saying that in April they hit Success Club, and then they just kind of like were like, great, I hit it, and then just kind of like stopped inviting and stopped doing the basic things. And so then when May hit, obviously they paid for that, and they later in the month they were like, what's going on? Why am I only at like Success Club 2? And these are people that hit Success Club 10 like regularly every month, because they've been doing this for a while. And the problem was that they had stopped. They had stopped inviting because they hit their bare minimum goal. And so that's the thing, is you always have to remember that even when you hit it, like, that's awesome, and you can slow down a little bit if you need to or whatever, or take a breather or get in a good mental state. But you have bare minimums that you need to do every day. Like, that's our job, and that is why the tracker is there, and that's why PD is on the list. Like, it's not a negotiable thing. Like, it's there for a reason, and it's to help us become the best people that we can be, because when you are the best person that you can be, then when the business is going like this, you know that you're being a good person, you're doing your daily to-dos, and you're living the best life that you can live, and this success is going to follow that. And so it's just important to remember, like, not to ever just be like, 6 is what I want, I'm going to help 3 people and be done. Because what if that 4th or 5th person is somebody who needs you, and you're just pulling off the gas? So we just always need to remember, like, this is our job. Plus, don't you want the benefits of helping that person and the financial rewards of that as well? That's the thing that always blows my mind, when people are like, but I need $100 for this and this month. And I'm like, then what? Then do your daily to-dos and help those people. That will follow. So just something to be aware of, since we're talking about upper limiting.
Yeah, that's awesome. Along the same lines where you're saying, they took their foot off the gas in April, I think a good thing to remember, and this is especially for newer coaches, well, for all of us, but if you're new and you're discouraged, like say you didn't hit Success Club your first couple months or whatever, I remember also hearing that it's almost like a 3-month cycle. So you invite all these people in January, and they may not join you until April or so. And so the work that you do now on all your daily things that you don't see the fruit of, you might see the fruit of it 3 months, 6 months, a year later. And I think that perspective is sometimes hard to keep, especially if you're not hitting your goals or you're not seeing the numbers that you want or whatever, but people are watching and you don't always even know if they're watching you because they might not be liking, you know, you see them if they watch your stories, but if they don't like or comment, you have no idea that they're watching. And how many people, like, how many times have you gone to someone's profile and just to like, look at it and not leave any trace that you were there? So just keep that in mind, that what you're doing now will have fruits later. And I've been doing this long enough to have someone come to me that has been watching me like for 2 years and then suddenly message me one day saying, oh, I want to do this.
Did
So
you see that today that Micah shared of how long it took Melissa to start? Melissa was the girl on the National Wake Up Call today, and she's in our upline team, if you didn't know that. And Micah is my coach and her coach, and she shared her message thread with Melissa, and she re-invited her like 5 times, and she just no, not right now. And then she told her she was doing some other program, and Micah was just nice. She was just like, oh, that's awesome. That'll be so great for you and your husband. That's really cool. I'm excited to see what that does for you. And then she just kept doing her thing, posting her pictures, talking about her journey. And then 5 months later or something, she
4 or 5 months.
And it was just like a message that was like, hey, tell me how you make money doing this T25 thing or whatever. So you don't know, you really don't. And now she's like a rock star on the team. So just important that's why we do our everyday things.
I was thinking about that, because I was Micah's taking her elite coaches with her, and all 3 of them, both Melissa and Jalen, watched Micah for a long time. Jalen was like stalker watching her and then just messaged her out of the blue after a long time, like 18 months or something, and said, hey, I want to coach. And Cozy was obviously her sister-in-law doing things with her, but not coaching for several months years, I think, before she really did anything. Anyway, so you just never know. And that gives me a lot of comfort on the hard months and even the good months, that consistency and just keep going. You only fail at this if you stop completely, because there is always potential. There can be so many things. The other thing that I was going to say, if you missed your goal, is to take a look at what your goal is and what your actions are, and if those 2 things line up. For example, if your goal is Success Club 30 and you're going to invite 5 people a day, that's never going to happen. So make sure your goal matches the time that you're wanting to put into this, and make sure they match up. Now, Success Club should be everyone's minimum goal because that helps move our business forward. Really, Success Club 10 is how to get momentum in this business. So look at that and be smart with your actions, because it's doable. That is doable by following the basic tracker. But just think about that, because sometimes there's inconsistency. And I even see that in myself sometimes, because I am like a big dreamer, visionary person, but I don't always look at and I'm not saying not to do that, because I think that's powerful. But sometimes I have to say, okay, you're not going to be hitting Success Club 50 with what you're willing to do in the business right now. So look at that and just do a reality check with yourself. And I'm not saying don't shoot big. Don't mistake that, or that you can't create massive success on smart hours, because there's tons of leaders, you hear them all the time, again, on the National Wake Up Call, that start their business hustling in an hour a day and create momentum there. But just make sure you're working smart and not scrolling for the hour, that you're doing the stuff that you need to do. And reality check yourself, because all of us get distracted on social media. It's easy to get distracted. All of us have days that are hard, that we don't feel like working. all of us have days where our kids interrupt our perfect planned out day, and then it doesn't go the way that we want it to. Like, we all have setbacks. We all have amazing months, and we're all going to have hard months. And if you haven't had it yet, you will. You're going to have challenges in this business. It's a simple business, but it challenges you and it makes you grow. And that is what I love about it. And that is what some days I cry about it. But I keep doing it because it has made me such a better person. It's made me grow in ways that I would never grow otherwise. I have all these amazing friends that will give me real talk when I need it, and will also have my back and cheer me on when I need it too. So anyway, I love what we do. So wherever you're at the beginning of June, whether you're pumped up from how amazing last month went, or if you're struggling, or if you're just like even Steven, feeling good about things, like, you can be in a lot of different places, but just take the opportunity of this month and make it into whatever you want this month to be, because any month can be the month that you make the shift from being struggle busting to rock star and just take off. Like, I've seen so many coaches do it, and I sometimes even wonder, on days when I'm struggling and then I make a shift, I'm like, is this the shift that I'll, when I'm on the national wake up call and I'm saying, there was this month that I just had this shift, because I think throughout this business, we're going to make multiple shifts, and eventually it's going to just take us to whatever our path is and whatever you want to create with this business, because the sky's the limit. I know that. I've watched plenty of people do amazing things with this, and I know that we have the opportunity to do whatever it is that we want to. So that's my cheerleader, pump us up for June. Set goals and set big goals. We've talked sometimes about making like a target goal. So you've got like your bullseye. This is my scares me to say it goal. And then you've got the next level of like, this is still a pretty big stretch, but I want to do it. And then you've got this is my minimum goal that I want to hit this month. So you can kind of hit this one, then hit this one, then shoot for this one. If you hit that, then get like the tiny little spot in the middle. So anyway, I think that's all I want to say.
Perfect. I love you, Em. That was so good.
I love you too, Heidi.
Okay, so the only other thing I had to add, because it was so amazing, like there's not really anything. When you're talking about distractions and all that stuff, I was like, I am the distraction queen. Like, that is like my biggest issue. Like, so if you are like me and like the smallest thing will take you and sidetrack you, what I honestly have to do, and I'm honestly really consistent with getting my power hour done now, but it took me a long time to figure that out, and I want you guys to not have that issue. So that's why I'm telling you, use the tracker, because it gives you specific things to do every day. And I need that. Even sometimes I have my tracker out and I have a notebook and I have to be like, okay, like, what are you going to get on and do? Like, before you open the browser, what is happening? Like, okay, I am posting about this because I want to share this experience that happened, or this PD that I'm reading, or what I'm going through, or I want to connect with some people, and I want to share what we do and why what we do is important. And this is what I'm posting. Like, I have to have that set. And then I'm going to go in and I'm going to I'm going to do this and this in my stories and blah, blah, blah. Like, and then if I feel myself getting distracted while I'm doing those things, I will turn it off and be like, okay, what needs to happen still in my power hour? Because you really do have to, like, it's about being intentional. Burnout for me only happens when I get in there and get distracted and feel like I'm working all day and nothing's getting done, because then nothing's getting done. So we don't want that to be your life. We want you guys to get in, to do the essential things, to meet friends, to feel the value of what you have. Because I'm telling you, like, I work I work at a gym, and I love what that environment does and the power of health and fitness in general, but you cannot reach as many people and you cannot help as many people and you don't have as many tools as we have. And I want you guys to see the benefits of that. So like that's, be intentional. Like it's so good. Just get in and get out and feel good about what you're putting out there. Because then at the end of the day, no matter what the result is, you know that you've done your job.
I don't know if you said it when you froze up or not, but use timers, you guys. Like there's time guidelines on the tracker. Use them, set a timer. That helps me be intentional too, because if I know I'm racing against the clock, then I'm way better than if I'm just like, oh, I'm going to invite 10 people. Then I invite her, and then I see this post about like, I get weighted. I'm just like you, Heidi. Must be creative brain.
Yeah.
So use timers. That helps me a ton. And it helps a lot if you have to work in the cracks and don't have a solid hour to put in, which still use a timer for that. But some days I have to work in the cracks and I don't like it, but if I have to, a timer really helps because I'm like, okay, I can do 15 minutes or I can do 5 minutes and be super focused for that long. So use timers if you're not already.
Yeah. And then always, the only other two things I have to be intentional is like the posting schedule is there for a reason. So use that. Like if you're struggling every day to know what to post about, this is why the posting schedule exists. You should be always posting a transformation. It doesn't have to be like, there has to be at least one a week that you're posting, but it doesn't always have to be like, look at this new muscle or like talk about your mental your mental changes and show pictures of when you weren't feeling good and when you are feeling good. Like there's so many different ways that you can share progress. So don't get stuck on feeling like I don't have a weight loss win right now. Like there's so many health and fitness wins. So just always be sharing transformation because that is a big part of what people are attracted to and what you're going to invite from. So
Yep.
Always have those. And then I always have like really good thoughts and no pictures. I'll be like, oh, I want to really share this one thing. And then I'm like, I don't have any pictures. So what we really got in the habit of doing is, because when we go places, I'm always like, I need to unplug. I can't bring my phone. So he always brings his phone, and we like, we'll just, when we go somewhere pretty or when we're somewhere like as a family or I see a cool something, we just take 5 seconds and take a picture. Because I never know when I'm going to need it, when it will like resonate, if I want to share it later. And pictures draw a lot of people to what we do. So just something to think about, because I get the unplugging thing. Like I said, find a way to figure it out. I leave my phone home. He becomes the picture taker. So like just having pictures at your hand is always helpful. Okay. Hopefully that gave you guys some good solid ideas of how to start this month. I'm going to put together like my calendar of what my month plan is so that you guys can invite to those things. And seriously, if you're a new coach and you feel overwhelmed and you're not ready to do a group by yourself, or you're not feeling like you have enough people in there, or you want to start inviting to coaching and you're not sure where to, like, use what we're doing as a team. That's why it's there. Like, you don't need to deep dive into all that other stuff if you're not ready for it. You got to get a handle on your power hour and getting consistent with that and seeing the benefits of that before you add more work to your plate. And so that's why we do those things. So feel free to invite to what we're doing or to ask me about it if you have questions and whatever. If you want to use our content, I'm totally open to that. So, okay. If you guys have questions, let me know. I'm always here. I'm sure Emily's the same. We're always here to help you guys. So let's rock June, and we'll see you next Monday.
Okay.
Bye, guys.
Thanks.
Thanks, Emily.
See ya.